Who wishes there were more hours in the day? Anybody? Okay. Who besides me has run around saying, I don't have time for that? Anybody? Oh, thank God I'm not alone. I literally was the poster child for that. I think if they would say, I don't have time, they would show a picture of my face when my children were little. And I can tell you that when Peter and I got divorced, my first husband, Erica was 2 and Jacob was 5. And I became a single mother. And I didn't get to have my babies 24/7 anymore because he's a good father and he needed his time and I needed my time. It was really hard. It was really heartbreaking, especially when they left and went away for the holidays and I was sitting at home by myself. And I got very clear that I was going to make sure that the time I did have with them mattered and that I would allow myself to stop saying, I don't have time. I would allow myself to stop having money be an excuse. Because when I looked at this, if I won the lottery and I had all the money in the world, because I wasn't in this mindset, by the way, back then in 1998, if I won the lottery, what would I be doing differently? And what I realized is that if I won the lottery and had all the money in the world, I'd be taking my children hiking. I'd be reading books with them. I'd be cooking with them. They love to cook. So it was a bit of a wake-up call for me getting divorced. And I'm just sharing that with you because right now we've had a great wake-up call as a species. If you go back and listen to the video, I don't know if you're interested in this, but I shot a video. It's kind of my New Year's message for everybody. It's on YouTube, and the title is like COVID and what 2020 was all about. I'm not going to go through it all right now. There's a short, I think it's like an 8-minute video on lessons learned. I got to tell you, this is an opportunity for you. And the time that we get is so precious. You guys know that you may or may not know, I have I had a head-on collision on December 26th, and it totaled my car. It bent the frame. My car was completely demolished. And today, I'm able to be here with you by the grace of God. We don't have to have a wake-up call to choose how we spend our time. We get to choose that now. And when you're feeling like you don't have enough time, I came up with a game. Ready for the game? Yep. Colleen Cole, nice to see you. All right, here's the deal. Does anybody know how many minutes there are in a day? And those of you that did this with Legacy Leaders, don't cheat. All right, anybody who's not in Legacy Leaders, you know how many minutes there are in a day? Raise your hand. 1440, Kathleen Hoffman, you get a gold star. All right, 1440 minutes in a day. What's the S in self-care stand for? Sleep, right? Sleep. All right. How much sleep do you need?
8.
Most humans, from everything I've studied, 7 to 8 hours. 7 to 8, not 78, right? 7 to 8 is supposed to be the good number. Here's an interesting factoid for you, especially for you, Elena, because you work with elders. They say that a lot of older people think that they sleep way less, but they start napping. So they've actually mapped it and they still take 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day. They just break it up in a little different way. Isn't that cute? You know, sweet. All right. So let's say that you're sleeping for 8 hours a day, 60 minutes in an hour for everybody's math. Yes? Everybody's on the same page? That's 480 minutes is 8 hours of sleep. All right. So when we do that math, if we did it correctly, is it 960? We get 960 minutes left after you sleep. Now, what's the F in self-care? Can somebody call it out?
Fuel.
Fuel, yes. So we have to fuel our bodies because otherwise our bodies won't continue to go, right? Now, I would recommend you have a minimum of 3 hours a day of fueling your body. And I'm just talking about cooking nourishing food or gathering nourishing food and having yourself do the activity of eating just as a solo activity. I want you to understand that there's something beautiful in the reverence for the fuel that's coming into your body, not food on the go. You know, you can be going, but I'm telling you that there's something beautiful if you allow yourself to have this as part of your rituals, part of your daily practice. So we came up with Eating is going to take 3 hours, give or take 3 meals a day. That's 60 minutes times 3, which is 180 for eating, for our fuel. With me? Yes? So we're at 780, is that right? Okay. Anybody know where I'm going with this? All right. How many hours a day do you want? This is really it. Chris Dyer, how many hours a day do you want for self-care?
Oh gosh.
I mean, your exercise, your movement, your prayer, your meditation, maybe you're doing your nails and your hair, whatever it is, you're taking a bath. How much time do you want each day?
Well, I propose 10% of your day.
Okay.
So 140 minutes. So that's 2+ hours. Round it up to 3. Let's round it up to 3 hours.
That's my number. I love that, Chris. I knew you were going to do that with me. All right. So I personally think that 3 hours a day is a reasonable amount of time for self-care. Now, other people might think that that's not necessary, but I got to tell you something. I have a big mission and I have a strong body and a purpose that requires me to keep a strong body in order to be able to serve and give my way to millions. Get the idea? Okay, so 3 hours a day on self-care now puts us at 600 minutes. We're at 1440, we slept, we ate, and we took care of ourselves. With me? Kind of, sort of? All right, now, how many hours a day do you want to work? It's not a trick question. How many hours a day would you like to work? We're going to have fun time, Elaine. I love party girl. We're getting there. All right.
3, 4.
3 or 4. Okay, got it. So that's how many hours you'd like to work. Anybody else?
I'm going to say 4.
4. Okay, great. 5 for Elaine. Anybody else?
I'll say 4 to 5.
8.
4 to 5. Somebody says 8. Okay, great. You get to choose. This is the bottom line. This is your life. Guess what? We all have 1440. How you choose to break them out is your thing. But here's the difference that I want to say to you. For those of you that feel overwhelmed by your work, for those of you that feel you don't have enough time for your work, for those of you who feel like you never get it all done, when I say how many hours you want for your work, I mean with healthy, strong boundaries, where you're actually working, you're not doing 6 things at once, you're doing 1 thing at once, and you're doing it well. With me? My flow is usually somewhere between 4 and 6 hours on a work day. So I'm going to choose 6 for the super duper high achievers with big missions, and just say, if you work 6 hours a day, it's 360 minutes. And that leaves us with, I can't see my math, 240? Okay, 240. Here it is, Elaine. 240 divided by 60 is 4 hours, right? Did I do the math right? 240 divided by 60? 4 hours, Andrea. All right. Unmute yourselves, please, and tell me, raise your hand and unmute yourself. What are you going to do with those extra 4 hours every day?